Hi everyone, I'm Mike Marizio from KLVW-TV, and I have two very special guests with me today. They're a well-known couple around Village, so let me introduce you to Priscilla Vidal Peck and Alex Peck.
Thank you for having us.
Hi folks.
We appreciate you having us today.
Thank you for doing this. I'm going to start with a simple question. Where did you meet and how did you meet?
Priscilla and I, we met, we've been together over 22 years. We met working for the same company. Back in the very beginning, Priscilla ran the HR department and I was an operations manager. And in the beginning, it wasn't love at first sight. There was some clashing there. There was, she was one of those employees that would show up 2 minutes before the time clock was to strike, and it used to drive me absolutely nuts. And then, she would constantly remind me on how I was supposed to treat people, which is probably what made me fall in love with her. So we worked together for many years for the same company. Then eventually we ran a business together for a short while before coming to New Jersey. And that was the whole span of, from 22 years. And we actually didn't get married until we moved to Leisure Village West. And we've been married for 8 years now.
Okay. So how did you come to the Village? How did you decide that this was the place for you?
So my mom had lived here in the Village for 20 plus years and her health was declining. And so, with our business, we could live anywhere. And so I just was really praying about, what do I need to do? My mom's health is declining, and I just kept kind of pushing it back to, it was like, okay, God was saying, what do I need to do to make you understand where you need to go? So long story short, Alex had never been to Jersey, lived in Jersey, really anything about Jersey. We were, still dating. We were together at that time. And I said, this is what I need to do. This is where I need to go. I totally get if you, don't want to come with being a California boy. And he was like,
here we are. Yeah, at that time, all of our children were grown and doing their own life, and so I said, "What the heck? Let's go to New Jersey. What do we got to lose?" And here we've been ever since.
Yeah.
So tell me about your very large, I understand, blended family.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We have, between the both of us, we have 7 children.
One adopted daughter.
13 grandchildren, going on 15. We have 2 of our daughters that are expecting as we speak. So we've been, it's the one thing that we've been truly blessed. Our children are living their best lives, and we have healthy great grandchildren, so that's how they all.
Now, is everyone close?
They're not, and that's what makes it difficult about living in New Jersey. Is we have a son in Washington, a daughter in Phoenix,
Washington State,
a daughter in Phoenix, which that's where the group started.
So that's a family center.
That's the center. It was Phoenix, and we have one in Kentucky, one in Tennessee, one in Texas, 2 in Florida.
Yeah. And then we have grandkids that are all in those states, also now in Colorado for college and Kansas. So they're everywhere.
All over the continental United States.
Yeah, I think I was telling you, we've sort of gotten used to it, and I think it's just something that we're okay with, that when we want to go away for the summer, I always joke with Priscilla about if we want to get away for some romantic vacation, it seems to be romantic, but there seems to be a family along with us, one of our kids. But it's okay, it's one of the things of many. I think as we got together, and I knew that Priscilla I was never going to find someone like her. Her way about family and how and the love she has for not only her children but the blended 7, as we call them. I couldn't find that anywhere else. I mean, as you see her here in Leisure Village is how I've seen her my entire life. She, I think I'm the rough one. I'm the one that constantly gets lectured on. You shouldn't be so bratty to people, or you shouldn't be that. And I joke with her because an ongoing. It's a joke for me, but
I never noticed that about you.
no, it's I don't.
He's a good-
I can honestly say that I don't know of a kinder soul, and it was just one of the many attractions that I knew I had to have in my life when we met, and she has kept me very well grounded. She's one I joke with her all the time. I think, Mike, in 22 plus years, and I always jab on her. It's silly as it sounds. I've never ever heard this woman say a swear word. I've never, and obviously me being in the military, I'm constantly getting corrected because they come out of my mouth frequently. But she's a kind soul. And for people, I'm glad that the people of the village have gotten to know her, because what you see of her when she comes to events and what she does, that's her 24/7 with everyone she sees, and her family and her children and her grandchildren and stuff like that.
So Priscilla makes you a better person.
100%.
It doesn't get, relationships don't get better than
No,
that.
100%. You know, we have something that we have always, and it was something that Priscilla had when we had first gotten together, that we had discussed, and to this day we truly believe it. I know some of our close friends here in the village, and our children obviously know it. I have it tattooed on my arm. Is we have a saying that we have the 3 L's.
You got to have the 3 L's.
You got to have the 3 L's. You know, in the first L is you've got to like a person, and then you have to love a person. Well, you know, you can love anybody. I mean, God knows, unfortunately, I love Rob Lombardo, but you know what? You got to like someone, you've got to love someone, and then you have to continually always to be in love with that person. And so it's an ongoing something that we share. We've shared our entire time together. It's something that our children know that we stand for, because it's very easy to slip out of that in love part and just continue to like someone. So it's just something, just one of our little pet peeves that we've always carried around with us.
Like I say, you got to have the 3. Can't have one without the second one, without the third one. It's got to be all 3.
Priscilla, does Alex make you a better person, or should I move to the next question?
No, he is an incredible person, and he has his little things, like every morning, because he works a full-time job. So every morning he'll leave maybe 2:30 in the morning. I'm in my best sleep at 2:30 in the morning. So he'll come over and give me a kiss goodbye and so forth. And then between 7 and 7:30 every morning, he will send me a morning text with some kind of motivational or, you know, I love you, have a great day, I hope you have a good day. You know, if something is going on or whatever, he'll kind of focus on that. So it's a morning ritual of kind of inspiration, just kind of, I guess, a love language that we use. And then right after that, then I'll call him because I'll know, okay, he's maybe having a little break or whatever. And then we have our little conversation. So God forbid if something were to happen to his phone and you would see all these texts, I don't respond with the text, I respond with the phone call. So if somebody would say, oh my gosh, look at these really nice texts that he sends out, and she never responds because I respond with the phone call. So that's our morning, you know, just little things like, he'll leave notes around the house for different, no occasion, just little notes of different things, you know, I love you for this, I'm going to do this, let's do this. Gifts, cards, whatever, there never has to sometimes be an occasion, it's just because, and he's just a good human being that I'm blessed to have in my life.
When did you become interested in fitness?
Oh my goodness. Pretty much my whole life I've been kind of involved. I mean, you know, back in the day in corporate America, it was HR management, but I still did the fitness part of it. And then I started to move more into kind of it being a part-time with the corporate America. And then when I totally got out of human resources, I just kind of went full force into it. And it's just something, my family dynamics, health-wise, is not that good. My mom and dad both, you know, died of heart, you know, disease and different things in that realm. And, you know, other people in my family weren't that healthy. And so I just had this passion of like, I have to do everything I can to be as healthy as I can. God forbid if something were to happen, I would have some type of fighting chance, I guess I would say. Not saying that I'm not going to get sick, but if I do, hopefully I can get through it a lot better than if I weren't healthy. And then just being able to help is, even just that one person that you help to live a better, healthier life, to me is reward enough. And so it's just my passion to help as many people as I can. Per se, the sticks, aquasize, I love doing things like that.
It seems almost that you've taken it as your personal mission to get Leisure Village West in better shape.
Exactly. There's so many beautiful people here. And a lot of times too, there's that concept, we get older, we don't have to take care of ourselves. And I think it's the other way around. That's when you really need to do what you can. And it brings me joy to see, the people come in wheelchairs, with walkers, whatever the case might be, and doing the best they can, because everybody's different. And like in my class, I would say we're all different flavors, but we're all kind of the same. And so it's just them doing the best that they can for themselves. And that, I think God has, that's my purpose. That's what I feel, that God has me in this journey for right now in my life.
And I want to get back to that in a second, but right now, Alex, your love of bocce, how did that happen? And tell me about how you got involved in the bocce club.
Well, I really never even knew bocce. I mean, as Priscilla had stated, I grew up in Southern California, and after I went in the service, I came out of the service, I moved to Arizona. Obviously, that's where the families and everything started to go from there. Bocce wasn't until I came to Leisure Village. I had no clue what bocce was. I had my partner in crime, we all know, is Mr. Lombardo, and he introduced me to the club. I think I got started probably been with the bocce club. It's been going on just 4 years now.
Yeah, we had no idea in bocce. What's that?
I think my first year, I think I was the vice president for Mr. Tazi when he was a president, and then I was a president for a couple of years, and now. I wanted to take a little break because, all the children and things going on. And somehow Rob talked me into doing another year. So here I am on the board of bocce again. And it sort of has grown on me. I've come to love the sport. I guess I'm to Rob, and it's the same thing. I'm sure that you'll ask me about walk the talk. It's something that is so different. Someone from Southern California coming out here to New Jersey, and obviously, I joke with Rob being Italian and bocce ball and everything, and but it's come to grow on me. I've loved the people that are involved in the club, and doing things for them and trying to put on the best leagues and social events and everything we can for folks in the village. So the sport's just sort of grown. I mean, I've always been very athletic, so bocce was just another sport
And of course, the bocce club has become much more than just bocce.
Much more than bocce, absolutely. The social side of it has grown immensely. We try to do the best we can for our members as well as all residents. We, from picnics to social events to dances to whatever we got to do, we try to do the best we can. So.
And that's another one of the sports that there's a lot of old timers. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, it was probably the first year that we kind of played, maybe the second year, Alex and some of the guys played against some of the old timers, Joe Verdi, Sal Senior, Rico, and they were like, oh, we're going to kill them. We're going to kill them. Look who we're playing against. They got tore up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yep, yeah. The old timers beat them bad and kind of taught them a lesson of we paved the way. This is still our deal. Yeah. So it's nice to see things like that.
Well, bocce is our national sport here at Leisure Village.
Yes. So,
Priscilla, sticks. Tell me briefly, describe what that is.
Okay, so when I first presented, I kind of wanted to do a cardio drumming class, and that consists of bringing things in here we didn't have room for, so forth. And so I asked him, hey, if I put something together that you don't have to put anything, when you have the chairs, I'll bring the sticks. And so it's kind of a combination of cardio drumming, Zumba, because I'm also a Zumba instructor, and then strength and conditioning. So it's just kind of working head to toe in an hour and making it to where, again, you can do it sitting down the whole time if need be. It's and fun to some music where you don't realize an hour, that you're getting a good workout. So, yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what that is. Yeah, and it's for everyone.
Alex, I see you're wearing your Walk the Talk sports hat.
I am.
Tell me how you got involved in that show.
Again, Mr. Lombardo approached me and asked me what I thought of coming on, and he briefly talked about Walk the Talk, where we just come together and talk about sports and it's grown so much bigger than that. We get a kick out of feeding off each other. He's got that East Coast Italian vibe, and I have the Southern California. I'm more low-keyed, and I'm constantly being reminded by our producer and them that I got to speak up because I'm just very mellow. But we've built we've had a lot of fun with it. Our friendship is, I consider him a brother. And in the meantime, we've involved the whole community, and we've involved from the local high school to different community things that we've branched out and tried to bring together community with Leisure Village West. We really feel that the youth that are out there, there's no reason why they should think, oh, behind those gates are all those 55 plus people, and we feel the same way about the youth that are out there. And so we've involved them a lot in our shows and a lot of our activities, and tried to build that whole community concept of while talking sports and making it fun. So it's been a joy. It's been a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed it, and I'm very blessed that Rob asked me to join him to do it. But it's been everything else. It's everything in the village here. We've built some wonderful friendships. Obviously, from our roommate who was in our wedding to Rob and Natalie, who are our dearest. We consider them brothers and sisters to us. Obviously, people see the foursomes running around the village together a lot, to everything, And I think if we go back to family, I mean, it'd be crazy for me not to mention, not only did we come here with the purpose of being near Priscilla's mother, and it was nice because when we first moved to Leisure Village, we actually lived about 100 feet from her, right off of Yorkshire, where we were able to walk over there every day and have coffee and enjoy. And we got a good 2.5 years with Mom.
Stepdad.
Yep. And then we end up moving up by the 37 gate. But in the meantime, we almost adopted another mother figure. It was a commitment. Again, this is the person that Priscilla is. When her mother was towards the end there, she had always made sure that Priscilla had taken care of Louise, and she made her make that promise that when I'm gone, you'll continue to watch after her. And she's come into our family. She's like both of ours mother. She lives with us, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We enjoy having her as part of our family, and that's just those are just the things that a lot of people don't know, and these are all things that are thrived from Priscilla. Never a negative thing to say, always positive. Because trust me, when we're having dinner and Rob and Natalie and I myself want to get bratty and talk trash, she'll be the first one to correct us. Like, let's not talk bratty. Let's be nice. And so it's just, it's just who we are.
So Priscilla, getting back to your work in getting Leisure Village West in better shape, Aquasizers, did you start Aquasizers?
Oh, goodness, no. Aquasizers have been around for probably 30 plus years here in the village.
Really?
Yes, and there was a beautiful lady named Pauline.
Mm-hmm.
I would give you her last name, but I don't know what that is, that taught Aquasize for 20 plus years. And toward the end, she, her health was starting to, she was having some issues or so forth. And so I was asked by someone here in the village to, would I consider doing the aquasize? And aquasize was a little bit different than how I do things. So at that point I was like, yeah, I don't think you guys want me to teach aquasize because it was so different at the time. And they're like, no, if you would consider doing it how you would do it. And I was like, sure, let's give it a try. And I love doing it. It's so during the summer, it's 7 classes a week because we had to add a nighttime class because I thought, when we talked about it, we have people that still work in the community. Mm-hmm. So when you just have a morning class, it kind of leaves out the working people. And then also there's people that for whatever reason can't be out in the sun per medication. They can't, be out in the elements. So we added the nighttime class.
So which pool do you use?
We use Willow because it is heated.
That's heated, yeah.
And that's, again, for 30 plus years, that was the pool. And so it does start at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, so it doesn't affect, anything else going on. The pool opens at 11 like it normally does. And then we have the Monday night, Wednesday night at, again, 7:15 because the pool closes at 7. So everything, that they try to do is to accommodate everybody. So just because, okay, there's aquasize and there's a lot of people, there's the residents that want to use the pool when it's time for them to use it. And then this will be the 3rd year, I believe, we actually had to go to odds and evens because it was too many people in the pool.
I know you sell out.
Yeah, so last year we actually had to turn people away at 325, I believe it was.
Wow.
Yeah, so
it's not like sticks. You have to register ahead.
You do. I believe it's May 8th, there's registration, and it's just for the morning. It's just for an hour, and then they'll have an evening registration, and that's for an hour. Meryl Cooper is the president. She does an amazing job. She has a great board and support system, and so it's just an amazing group of people. We do it to music, and when I'm not there, the board will kind of step in and they do a great job. And again, doing it how they feel like, right? Because everybody has to kind of do it how they're feeling. It doesn't necessarily have to be how I do it. And that's the beauty of different things. Maybe somebody will say, oh, wow, this is really cool how they're doing it, right? And so, it's been a great thing. And I look forward to another year of doing it and getting a good crowd again. We don't really advertise because
you don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to pretty much, but it's great.
Now I know that the two of you do a fair amount of travel.
With all those children.
Can you tell me about some of your most memorable trips that you've made recently, or things that just stand out?
Well, the recent one was Cancun.
Yeah,
with our son and his family.
Yeah, we just went to Cancun last
January for my birthday.
January for Priscilla's birthday. Yeah.
What's the weather like in Cancun in January?
For us, Priscilla and I don't know if it's all the years in Arizona, but we like it a little bit warmer. That's why it's tough on Alex being in New Jersey sometimes. But it was fair. It was nice. We had a great time. Our son and daughter-in-law and 2 grandchildren came and joined us. And then other than that, we're very blessed. Our children live in fantastic places. So, when we go on trips, one's in San Antonio, our son's in Washington, the state of Washington. He's got a big 40-foot boat. We'll go out on the Puget Sound and go out on the boat, or Tennessee. We can go to Nashville. I just got back from Louisville, Kentucky to visit one of our daughters. Or we can go to Orlando. We have, some kids in Orlando. So they live in great cities. So when we do go out, we go spend it with them. Yeah. I mean, we definitely have made a few trips. We used to go to Mexico quite a bit before moving to New Jersey on little special trips. But, it seems like since we've been here, the last 8.5, 9 years, it's been really focused on being with them, and
Yeah.
we're okay with it. People, I know we talk about let's go hit a cruise or let's do something, and then we'll look at each other. We say, man, we'd rather go see this kid.
Yeah. Or
And
what kid, well, how many kids can we take?
yeah, how many kids can we take with us? So it's always been our focus, and I think it's the strongest. What I had mentioned before, one of the points that I love about us is that we are bond with our children, even though we're adults, and for the most part, most of our grandchildren still think we're pretty cool. So we enjoy that time with them.
Yeah.
We enjoy that time with them. So.
And then even here, coming like for Alex's birthday, we run at a beach house at Seaside, and what children could came out, and we spent the week there. And then before my mom passed, we did the same thing. We got a beach house, and a bunch of the kids came out, and so a lot of times we'll say, oh, we're just going to go here, but we thoroughly enjoy spending whatever time we can with our children, and grandchildren. So that's that's our joy.
Any visits planned for the near future? Yeah.
We do. We're actually leaving next week to go to Tennessee, because obviously I think I had mentioned we have our daughter in Kentucky and daughter in Tennessee are both pregnant at the same time with number 14 and 15. So we are going to Tennessee for a baby
Lucy's birthday.
One
She's
of our
going to be
granddaughters
2.
is going to be 2, and gender reveal
and baby shower together.
And then we come home, and the 1st of May we go to Denver for a grandson that's graduating from the University of Colorado. And then 1 week after that, we go to Orlando because we have a granddaughter graduating from high school, and she just got accepted to Auburn University. So, so it's a nonstop. I'm hoping to take a little break somewhat over the summer, just hang out in the village. I can't speak for Priscilla because she seems to be the one always really going to see the kids.
Yeah, because our son says we got to do another boat trip, and so
who knows?
We'll see. Yeah.
What things, particularly in the village, have you wanted to get involved in that you're not yet? Do you have any aspirations for the future?
I think there's so many great things in the village, and we really do try from the different clubs that are out there. The pickleball club. We were just talking about the other day that we keep saying we want to get out there and start playing pickleball. Or you have the dance club. You have all these different things, and we try our best to go to a lot of them. But we do stay busy. As Priscilla mentioned, I still work full time. I have the luxury of, I go in early, but I'm also home early. But between bocce, walk the talk, sticks, aqua size, and then just general community service, I guess we're blessed enough that if we can still help, we don't hesitate. If folks call us and I'll stop what I'm doing, let's go move something out of their house, or let's help them do something, or clean up their yard, or do whatever we got to do. We love to give back to the folks here. It's just good karma, and when the day comes when I can't get out and do that, I would hope that there's someone that's moved in here that's just 60 that can come over and help me,
Yeah.
So between, doing whatever we can, spending time with Louise and doing stuff with her, and the friendships that we've built here, it really consumes a ton of time. So, but there is such amazing clubs and groups that are out there that we try to the best we can to be a part of.
But sometimes it's those days you're like, can we just stay home just for one day? But it's a great community. We enjoy.
We do.
We enjoy this.
So here's my last question. Is there any question I did not ask that you wish I had asked you? Or anything you want to talk about?
I think we hit it.
No, we've touched on family. We've touched on what we've done here in the community. I guess I will just, if I was to end, I'll just end saying that I know this was to talk about couples and how we met, and I'll repeat myself again. I'm lucky to be sitting next to the lady that I have beside me, because she truly has blessed my life, blessed my children's life, her children's life, and everything she touches. And I can truly say that. I would encourage anybody out there to get to know Priscilla. I might not be the guy to get to know, but she's truly a blessing. She really is. I think so.
And I'm going to piggyback right back on that. I just think that, especially the older we get, that we just enjoy what time we have left here. We never know. I always say we never know what tomorrow brings. And so I don't ever want to say, what if? I want to try to, in the morning, get up, be blessed for getting up and what the day brings, and go to bed feeling like you accomplished as much as you could in that day. And so,
Well, the name of this show is It's All About the Village, and there's a good reason for that. In my opinion, you two are truly a gift to our community, and I want to thank you for everything you do here, both for the station and just for the village in general. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I'd like to thank Alex and Priscilla for doing this show.
and I want to thank you also. You do a lot in the community, and I appreciate everything that you do and what the station does, and what a blessing it is for us to even have our own TV station. And it wouldn't be a TV station without the volunteers, so we appreciate you
Our
as well.
amazing crew that's behind that glass
Yes.
window. You can't even see them, but
Yes.
they're
We
really
appreciate
the
you.
ones who make everything happen here. This is Mike Maurizio for KLVW-TV. Again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.